Okay, sorry about that. I ran out of disk space and now I have to start, not over again, but just where I left off. So, again, the beginning of your story when something is going to happen, we just talked about what happened with the birds at the beginning to let us know something was going to happen. So, in your story, your idea, how is something going to happen? What's going to happen? Is it going to be in a family? Is it going to be in a working environment? Is it going to be in the environment period, the world? Um, in maybe in the galaxy if you're going to do sci-fi um, or just in the world today. Is it a political something that's going to happen or a social something that's going to happen or an economic something that's going to happen? Maybe it's something going to happen in a romantic life or an emotional or physical well-being, something's going to happen or mental. I think of the movie The Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I'm not sure how old it was. I think it was in the 90s. Really good movie. Um, it's based on a true story of, I think it's John Nash. I haven't seen it in a while. He was a Harvard professor and he was schizophrenic. And it's the story of that beginning to manifest itself and um, how it's quite fantastic, the story. I won't say anything more, but anyway, there was a change in his mental well-being, and that's what the movie was about. It's really good. So anyway, in your idea, you have to decide where is this change, what's going to happen, what's going to be the change that's going to propel the story forward. Um, how will your character manage the change? Um, so that's you're going to tell us the story, and how will that managing the change move it forward to a conclusion. All right, so let's talk about your assignment this week. Um, I want you're going to do your assignment just on a Word document. We will not be doing the side-by-side script that you've been working on. We will not be using those anymore. We're done with that. So for this week, you're just going to be using a Word document to kind of tell me a little bit about your idea. You may already have one, and that's great. If you don't, you need to come up with one this week, and then you need to flesh it out. So on the lecture notes, it says for your assignment this week, there's a section that I want you to copy and paste, and it'll be obvious if you're not looking at it right now. You're going to copy and paste, and you're going to fill in the parentheses um, the parts that have to do with your idea regarding your character, your goal, your journey, your conflict, and your resolution. And then after that, a little section on your Word document, I want you to list your characters um, by the main character down, and I want you to tell me about each character. What your character looks like, what the age of the character is, the personality, the quirks, anything that might distinguish them, their profession, all the things that I listed up here. Uh, their education, their family background, geographic location, key past events, past successes and failures. There's a whole list there on the notes. You don't have to do every single one of them, but as it pertains to your character. So we think of Mitch Brenner from The Birds. We say he's a lawyer. He's a good looking guy, probably in his early 30s. He's single. He has a strong sense of family because he's taking care of his mom and his sister, and his father has passed away. Seems to be a decent guy. He's from a small town, but he also works in LA, so he knows his way around the world a little bit. Um, so that would be his description. Pretty much what we know about it. He seems brave, you know. So that's what I want you to do with each of your characters. And then I want you to explain the following. The tone, what's going to be the tone of your screenplay? We talked about that already. What's the pace going to be? What is the feel going to be? Is it going to be colorful, like Charlie and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Very colorful movie. Some of the old westerns, they're very void of color because they're in they're in the mountain ranges and deserty areas, so there's not a lot of color. So what's yours going to be? The texture, that kind of thing. You can look at your notes for those different explanations of that. Your location. or your locations. Maybe you're going to have more than one location, or or just one. The time period, is it contemporary? Is it right now, or is it going in the future, or is it going in the past? Your genre, what your genre is going to be, and then what your plot is going to be. What's going to happen? What's the story about? Okay, so that's just how you are going to flesh out your idea for me, so I know where you're going with that and I can take a look at that. Make sure you, so it's kind of going to be in a list format in a way, or not really in a way, it's going to be in a list format. Just make sure you present it professionally in terms of no spelling or grammatical errors. Everything that you turn in should be very clean and professional, but just give me kind of a list that kind of helps me understand your idea. Okay, so that's it for this week. You do have another film to watch, and that will be on the discussion. You'll see that. And that's it. Have a good week.